Are we ready to roll, Mark? Let's call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Genslinger. Havlik.
Here.
Gurza.
Here.
Larson.
Here?
Osterloo.
Here.
Schmidt. Sonny.
Here.
Kosher.
Here.
Quorum.
Thank you. The proposed agenda has been provided in a packet of information. Anybody see a conflict of interest that's on this committee? Seeing no one coming to the podium to discuss conflicts of interest, let's approve that agenda that has been provided if there are no additions or corrections to it.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. Larry, we're going to have to call everybody because you're on the phone with us today. And I just will mention that so that the folks that may be watching us on a video screen someplace understands why we're going through everything as a roll call vote. And statute requires us to do that when one of the people are reporting telephonically. So, Mark, it's your turn.
Havlik.
Yes.
Gurza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The minutes of the previous meeting of May 13th were also provided in the packet of information. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, we are ready for a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, Mark, it's your turn again.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Havlik.
Yes.
Gurza.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
According to our normal schedule, next meeting should be on June 10th. Do I hear a motion to approve the blanket?
Motion to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the blanket for the next meeting be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. Mark?
Sonny.
Yes.
Havlik.
Yes.
Gurza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item on the agenda is hearing and action on establishing the boundaries and approval of the project plan for tax increment financing district number 35. Mark, you want to talk to us about it? I'm sure we have somebody here, probably Don Peterson, to talk to us again.
Yeah, I can give the overall, and they can fill in the extras. Copper Flats LLC, they would be the developer for the TIF. Copper Flats LP, after it's all done, they will be the owners of it. This is on South Capitol, south of Spruce Street. Menards is right across the street from this area, right to the east of here. Jensen has all the land to the west for his development that you've seen previously. He also owns the land to the north as well. There's the apartments to the north a little further. There's 4 of those there. It was published in the paper. So this is for a 35-unit apartment building totaling 65 bedrooms. It's affordable housing. For the apartments, it'd be at least 80% or below for median income. How that would work for the affordable housing. It's a grant pass-through of $675,486, which, if you look at their TIF eligible, page 60 is 25 to 35. The total project cost is 6.3 roughly. Eligible TIF expenses is 1.3 roughly. They're requesting 675,000 and change, so they're well underneath the eligible what they could request. With how it pays out, though, that's what their 675 would pay over the 20-year, 19, how it all falls out. It's only a 20-year that they can pay it back in by state law, 5 years to pay for all the expenses to be used up for it. Grant pass-through that we've previously seen on other TIFs. This city did, staff did review of it, had some comments and questions for them, they replied, and had the changes for, the document that you see in front of you right now. Justin, anything that you need to add?
I think you've hit most of it. Probably the only thing to add, you talked about how it's going to be a grant pass-through type TIF. And again, the reason that we do that is so that it does not count against the city's constitutional debt. So otherwise, I think Mark hit pretty much all the major points.
And this is similar to others that are on this
Yep.
planning commission. We have seen others similar to this in the past, so.
One other comment was that there was a study done that showed a need for additional income-based housing, which this would be. The developers qualified for some additional financing through the South Dakota Housing Authority. So it will meet the state's definition of affordable housing, so it's not considered a local TIF.
Okay.
Sorry. Oops, sorry, this is Stephanie Elwine, City Administrator.
Yep. Thank you, Stephen. Any other comments or questions here from the panel before Mr. Peterson? And we've heard you a time or two on this, haven't we?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Any other questions from the panel here to ask at this point? Otherwise, let's turn it over to Mr. Peterson and he'll tell us more about the thing.
Jay, I'm gonna let Terry Sabers, the city has put forth all the basic guidelines of it. Terry can talk to the project and what it's gonna do, so I think it would be more informative if Terry can address the board with what the project will be.
Okay?
Terry Sabers here, president of Mitchell Area Housing, or MAHI. We are the sponsoring nonprofit general partner for the project. In order for Lloyd to do a tax credit program like this, they need a nonprofit involved, and we are that sponsor. So we're working with Lloyd Construction and Copper Flats LLC. And this was a 35-unit, low-income housing project, so we are going beyond the 80% to 40, 50, and 60% of average income. And so it's going to be for the really low-income folks, which this project will then help us reach a segment of the city that we're not helping currently, either with our single-family homes or with the rehab grants that we're doing that are income-based also. And in the survey, like they mentioned, is that there was a need for more of this low-income housing. And with today's construction costs, this project meets all the state TIF requirements, and it's critical that we get a TIF to make this project possible. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. And I guess if there's any other questions on the project, Kellen Erpenbach from Lloyd Construction is here, and also Don Peterson. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it seems to me, I remember us taking a look at that survey, housing survey that was done here not too long ago.
2 years.
Yep. And those discussions were held. I don't know how many of you were on the commission at that time. I know you were, when we had that housing. And our council representative was here too when we done that. I don't know if you guys, I don't think we're here yet. And it was quite an in-depth survey that they did. I think it was done in 22, wasn't it? The housing survey?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Early mid 2022.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
Ideally, if everything goes the way the developers would like it to go, when would we see the construction done and people moving in?
Yeah, I can give you an overall.
Introduce yourself to us, please.
Sounds good.
I'm Kellen Erpenbach from Lloyd Companies. I'm a financial analyst there on the development finance team. So I can give you a brief overview of the project schedule. So we'd plan to break ground, assuming we get the TIF approvals needed. We would break ground probably early July, and it'd be a year build on the 35 units. So once the year goes by, we'd be into July of 2025 would be when we first open doors. And then typically it takes us around 6 months to get the property leased up and stabilized. So then early '26, we would probably have a fully occupied building and tenants living in the building.
Thank you. Any other questions from anybody here? Mark, have you got any way to communicate with those who are perhaps watching us? Other than they could phone in, talk to Stephanie?
I don't have any connection with them at all. No.
Okay. Any other questions for these folks? All right, I'm sure we'll have to have two motions, is that correct, Mark?
Yep, that's correct. The first motion would be to set the boundaries of TIF District number 35 to include plat of lot 1A is block 3 Stardust subdivision to the city of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota. After that one, if that is approved, then it'd be to approve the project plan and recommend TIF approval of TIF District number 35 to the council. So, first one is the boundary.
Move to approve the boundary. Second.
Moved and seconded that the boundary be approved as presented. Discussion on that motion. Hearing none. Mark, it's your turn.
Hadley,
Yes.
Jurza,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next, we have to approve the plan. Is that correct?
Yeah, approve the project plan and recommend approval of TIF District number 35.
To the council for their approval.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the proposed, okay, Mark, you better give us the wording on that.
To approve the project plan and recommend approval of TIF District number 35 to council.
Thank you. Discussion on that motion. Hearing none. It's your turn again, Mark.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Hadley,
Yes.
Jurza,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes?
motion carried.
Hey, we're getting good at this, guys. We've done enough of them now that we understand what's going on, I think, so. Is there any other business to come before this body at this time? Seeing no one come to the podium, it is time for public input. If you need to address the board on an item that was not on this agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Seeing as no one is coming to the podium to address this committee, we are adjourned.